All right, we
Hi.
are live. Hi, we have Carina here. Very exciting joining us
Mhm.
today. It's going to be super special. And my dad is currently in Europe, and I'm in
London.
Cape Town in London. Yes, yeah, that's not considered Europe any longer.
Exactly.
Yeah, and yeah, I'm in Cape Town, and Karina's also in South Africa, but in an area just outside of Stellenbosch, which is beautiful. If anyone
Amazing
ever
place.
Yes.
Yeah.
So hi, Karina. Thank you for joining.
Hi. Thank you for having me. It's such a
Y-
pleasure. Thank you.
Yeah, absolutely. And the way I know Karina actually is from the events and festival days. Karina and Paul, her husband, used to have an amazing food truck that made incredible food and looked amazing. And they had a couple of food trucks and a restaurant. And we worked together a lot at many, many, many events, many a late night. And they fed me often.
Hmm.
And so we know each other well. And recently they've started to, well, Karina was always doing coaching and things like that, different therapy. And now in the last 2 years has kind of dived even further into it. And so we wanted to kind of link all up, hear from Karina, have you kind of speak about some of your questions or your clients' questions, challenges, and see where we can have an exciting conversation. And here
Perfect.
we are.
Amazing.
So tell us a little bit about what you do, Karina, and then you can kind of kick off with where you want to start with.
Yeah. So, what I do is I'm a holistic therapist as well as a mindset coach. I focus on not just conscious coaching, but also the subconscious coaching, where I access emotions, feelings, and all those memories that are actually storing uh, all those problems that comes up for my clients. And I find it super powerful to work on the subconscious, because when clients actually get that understanding of the true meaning of what is bothering them, they actually have that opportunity to actually truly transform. And from there, we work into the conscious coaching. Um,
Amazing.
that's a little bit in a nutshell, in
That sounds
short.
Wow.
amazing.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I love it. Love
Totally
it.
amazing
And
and complete.
yeah,
yeah,
yeah.
yeah,
The holistic approach is
Yeah.
very
yeah.
Very
Yeah,
fantastic.
so it's a mind,
smart.
body, soul
Very
approach. Yeah.
smart.
Amazing. And so my dad has no idea what you're going to ask. In fact, before we had a really engaging conversation, but you asked him, Do you want me to tell you the questions? And he was like, Nope, just give it to me when we're on. So you can surprise him with the first thing and or kind of get the conversation going, and we'll kind of see where it goes totally off the cuff.
Amazing.
Yeah.
Okay, wonderful. Yeah, so I've had some questions also that came up from my clients, which I'd love to hear your take on it as well.
Mhm.
But I think the first thing that has come to mind at the moment is how one can prevent yourself from not punishing yourself from not reaching your goals. Because a big part of what I do is assisting clients to reach their goals, reach their targets. Um, but how would you approach that aspect if they don't reach their goals, if they don't reach the specific results that they were hoping to get?
Yeah.
How would you approach that?
Okay. So, first of all, when someone did not achieve his results, he can take, like in anything in life, two viewpoints. Number one, I'm an effect, something happened to me, and I'm useless. And the second viewpoint is I'm cause, I did it, and I can undo it. So the first thing that a person needs to decide is he going to become cause or effect? If you're going to become cause, he needs to enjoy being cause, because he will be able to change things. And if he's deciding he's going to become an effect, he should enjoy it as well, because he's going to be hit, but that's what he wanted. So
Hmm.
at least admit, be honest enough, admit I want to be an effect. Now, why would a person choose to become cause or effect? That's the whole story. A person that decide to become an effect is a person that did enough bad to other people that he believed that anything that he will do further will be more bad. And because we are all basically good, what will happen, he will withdraw his power, he will cut his power, he will cut his power, he will cut his power, and so he will become an effect. So because we are good, we are willing to be punched and smashed and be an effect because we don't want to hurt other people with our actions. So any person that is an effect, any person that feels that things happening to him, he might not find it easy to hear, but if he will be a little bit brave, he will be able to admit that he's done something that he considers is not right. And because of that, he cannot trust himself. He lost his self-respect. He cannot trust himself. And so he decided to take the route of being an effect. And you'll see that any person at the beginning, before he committed too many sins, he could be hit, things could go wrong. You are young and things go wrong and nothing touch you. It's like it's not a problem. You continue to go and you continue to go. At one point, you decided, no, that was bad. I did not intend it to be so bad. And from that moment on, you start to cut your power. How do you cut your power? The moment that you've done something wrong, you hide it. You put like a block so no one will see you, but you become blind yourself as well. So you cannot handle what happened. And so you become an effect and you go down and down. So the only handling for a person that not reaching his goals is to restore his ability to be responsible, which means he needs to take responsibility for the sins he committed, delete them, and there's a way to delete them, and once he deleted them, he stopped being blind and start becoming cause.
Okay, that makes perfect sense.
Yeah.
Beautiful, thank you. Well, that actually brings me to my second question, and it's in a way a little bit more of a statement, and I think it lines up beautifully with what you were just mentioning earlier. What would your sentiment then be in respect to the following statement? You are not a victim, but you're a participant in life.
So participant in life is a victim because it's happening to me. I'm just participating. I'm just there.
Okay.
If you don't create life, if you don't put joy into things, if you expect things to give you joy, if you are anything other than the creator, anything other than the thing that bring about things, you will be hit. So if I'm a participant in a basketball game and I'm just participating, I'm still in effect. But if I'm the leader, if I'm part of the team, if I have a real post in the game, a real responsibility, and I'm doing that responsibility and I'm doing it well, now I'm living. Being a participant means trying not to die. It is a kind, it's not living. It's a kind of, okay, I'm in the game. Someone brought me here. I have no idea why. I hope I will not find the real reason. And when I die, I hope I will not get what I deserve. So, so I'm just participating.
Okay.
That's very effect viewpoint. I don't participate in the game. I create the game. I inject joy into the game. I define what will happen. I decide everything. If you want to really insult me, tell me that you did something against me. It means I'm useless. No, I'm cause. And if someone punched me, why have I been there? And why did he punch me and not someone else? So useless people find excuses, they blame, and powerful people create solutions. And actually, the definition of the word problem is professional in blaming.
Oh,
The
I
word
like that.
problem means professional in blaming. So the more you'll blame, the more professional you are at blaming, the worse you will get. You'll get lots of problems and you'll get very depressed, because happiness is actually not blaming, has nothing to do with blaming. Happiness has to do with looking at something, deciding that it's just an obstacle that you're going to overcome. And when you overcoming it, the process of overcoming the obstacle is what makes you happy. It's not reaching the top of the mountain, is overcoming the obstacle and climbing the mountain that makes you happy. So I'm not participating in anything. I'm either leading part of the game or the whole game. I'm not there.
I like that. I like that. Rather be the creator than the participant.
Yeah, participant
Beautiful.
is total effect.
Okay.
It's an effect. It's a hidden effect. You're an effect, but you say, no, but I'm part of it. So you are kind of a load on the organization. Yes, I'm sitting on the cart. So I'm part of the thing. It's like an ant that sit on the back of an elephant and say, well, look how much dust we are doing. Yes. So it's like nothing. It's nonsense.
Yeah.
I'm not participating. I'm making the dust.
Good.
I'm the one that I'm the source of the power. I'm not just being taken to a right.
So would you transcribe it maybe in a different term as you are manifesting everything that you want in your life?
Yeah, manifests. When something gets manifested, it is the result of something. Yes. So if I manifest, if I bring about things, I bring them about without the need for them to continue. If they are continuing, I'm becoming an effect of them. So when you actually create, it's there and it's gone. I don't mind. I make money. I have a wife and the money is gone and I make more money. If I want to hold
Okay. I see where you're going.
I make the money, it doesn't come to me, it goes to my wife. I don't know what's actually going on with the money. So I make the money and I make more money and I make more money. And money is never a problem because I'm printing all the time. It's not only because I'm Jewish. This is how it should happen.
Okay.
So I'm not
I really like
manifesting. I'm putting and putting and putting. I don't want something to sit there, because when something is there, I become the effect of this thing.
Okay.
So the money is there now. I need to protect it. The money is there now. I need to worry not to lose it. The money is there, so I need to make sure that no one cheat me. No, I create so much that no one can cheat me out of these things. So it's not an issue.
Awesome. I love that. Okay. Great.
Yeah.
So with the sense of creation, I think with a lot of small business owners, and I'll admit I'm guilty to it. Time for me sometimes just, it's not that I lose so much, but I feel like I don't have enough hours in the day sometimes.
Yeah.
Because, as a solopreneur, this is one thing that maybe not, I wouldn't say is a struggle, but I would love to hear how you stay intentional with your time, maybe in terms of being able to do less but stay more balanced.
Yeah.
How do you
I'm
manage
doing more actually. The only way to have time is to do more, not to do less. If you go to sleep, you have less time. But most of the people actually don't really understand what does it mean to do. To do not mean to warm the air. Yes, like sit here to warm the air. Yes. To do mean to take something, to start it, change it, and bring it to expected result, which means to close the cycle of action. Most of the people start, change, and never stop. And every time you open one of those cycles, part of your computation power get locked in the past. So imagine your mind as a storage of many processes. Every time you started something and you didn't close it, you have a program that open. And there's another program that open, another program that open, another program that open. And if you were a computer, you will see that the more program you open and not close, the slower the computer become.
Exactly.
And if you
Yeah.
and if you open more programs, you will crash. So stress, not time, is only a manifestation of a person that is not aware that he needs to complete cycles of actions. And most of the people start, say, oh, I'll deal with that later. I'll deal with that later. I'll deal with that later. You open a WhatsApp, you look at the WhatsApp, you read the message, you don't answer. You see the email, you see it came.
Yeah.
You
Yeah, I
read
got
the
you.
subject, you don't answer. Sometimes you become even more creative. You start to answer, you press reply, you say hello, and then you answer, you see some ad jumping as a notification, and you have to check the notification. It's very important. And you forget the email. And then you go and you open the browser in order to find some piece of data. But as you open the browser, you see some interesting thing. So you start to read. You close the browser and you forgot why you initially opened the browser even. So you have many open cycles. The problem is never a problem of time nor energy. The only problem, apropos what we spoke earlier, the spirit, the definition of this spirit is this thing that knows, that has the ability to create endless amount of energy. It's not an energy. It can create energy because energy is physical and the spirit is not. So if the spirit was energy, I could just use it and it will end. But the spirit do not end. The spirit do not die. So the spirit create energy. It's a nothingness that has the ability to bring about something. And once you open cycles of actions, what you have is basically you take your attention and it gets stuck into the past. Most of the people think that insanity is doing the same thing over and over again and expecting different results. It's nonsense. It's not insanity. That's actually tenacity. If you're married, you know, you need tenacity. You have a husband, you say, let's go, let's go, let's go. And he's not going. And you say, let's go, let's go. And eventually he's moving, yes?
Oh, I like that. My husband uses that phrase so often when I keep doing the same thing over and over again, but it seems to work. So I'm being tenacious. Thanks,
Yeah,
Meir.
that's tenacity. It's not insanity. Insanity is actually attention stuck in the past.
Mm,
And your attention is stuck in the past because you did not close cycles of action. And it seems like you cannot progress in business, which means you act insanely in business. You bring disaster instead of bringing results, only because you keep living open cycles and your attention become more and more stuck in the past. So you're driving forward, but you're looking backward. And it is really insane. Driving forward and looking backward.
Yeah, I got you.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's a very good point. I like that.
Good.
Yeah. Okay. Well, that actually beautifully ties up to my next question. Speaking of people that get stuck, living in the past, unwilling to move forward, finding it difficult to accept changes, how would you assist your clients, possibly through your coaching? How do you help them move forwards to become unstuck?
Okay.
You've given them the tools, but for some reason they're remaining in that stuck phase. So what do you do?
Yeah. So the only way to release something, so if I'm in the middle of a jail, what I need to do is I need to remove what's holding me. Yes. So how do you remove this thing? How do you remove the jail that you created for yourself? So in order to understand that, we need to understand what makes something solid in the physical universe. What makes something continue in the physical universe? So the only thing that makes something continue in the physical universe is lies. Because the definition of the word truth is the moment of creation and it has no continuation. So if you have a very big argument with your husband and it's continuing, you're probably arguing about the wrong things. What you're arguing about is not the actual problem. You're trying to solve the wrong problem. So there is a lie, so it's continue. And one day he come clean and he say, well, this is what I've done. And you might get upset and whatever, but now there is a solution. That problem is solved. Maybe you have a new problem, but that initial problem is solved because the truth came out. So when a person is locked and is not willing to move, he's not willing to move because he has some kind of a lie. And most people, when they teach, they think they need to add more data. Actually, I define the process of learning as the process of removing fake realities, moving lies. If you help the person remove lies, he will become smart, responsible, and by the way, he will come to present time. So the only thing that holds you in the past is a lie. So let's say the guy say, I go to coach someone, and usually I go to a big company, I sit with all the executives, and they're telling me, this is the main problem we have, we want to handle that. I said, okay, perfect. What is the source of the problem? What is the reason you have the problem? And they give me list and list, and this and this and that and that, and this guy and this guy and da. And when they finish, I say, okay, good. Thank you very much. Now I know what the problem is not. Why? If that was the source of the problem, you wouldn't need me. You will solve it already. So for sure, no, those are all the lies.
Yeah.
The moment that they realize that those are all the lies, immediately they have an improvement. So all you have to do is to teach the person that when he tries to solve a problem and the problem is not solved, what he's doing is adding more lies. He's trying to solve the wrong problem. And the only reason you ask him why he thinks he has the problem is only to help him to discover the lies. And once you look at the line, you know, okay, so this is for sure a lie, because it doesn't solve. How do I know if someone tell me, well, you know, the source of the problem, the reason we don't sell enough is the market is difficult. Okay, wonderful. Did it solve the problem? Can you change the market? No. So it's not the source of the problem. It's a lie.
Yeah.
And the moment that they realize that actually they're dealing with lies, all of a sudden the responsibility raise, and they will tell you, yes, the truth is that I'm stealing money. The truth is that I'm lying to my wife. The truth is that I'm not paying tax. The truth is that I'm doing something bad. And once they will admit and handle the thing that they're doing not right, which ties up to before, once they admit what is this thing that they've done and take responsibility for it in a certain way, delete it, all of a sudden they become sane. They stop being stuck in the past.
Love that. Beautiful.
Amazing.
Yeah.
And by the way, we're getting lots and lots of comments, by the way, and you might see some that I don't see on my side, but there's one person that asked, we are told so many lies. How do we recognize the main lie, which lies at the root or close to it?
Yeah. So you delete lies by finding truths, and you don't, it builds in kind of chains, a lie on top of a lie on top of a lie on top of a lie. And because the basic lie is so big and you consider it so bad, you are not willing to look at it. So the only thing you can do is to remove lies that closer to you right now, remove them, your responsibility raise, and you, because your responsibility raise, you are willing to look at a bit more lies or bigger lies, and you will see bigger lies, and you remove them, and eventually you will get to the basic lie. And there are ways to go directly to the basic lie, but it needs to be done with the help of another person, and you need to be prepared. There's a preparation process that you need to do, so you can actually take the amount of physical energy discharge that you will experience in such a way that it will not kill you, because it can physically kill you. there's so much energy there.
Amazing. Good answer. I like that. Yeah.
Yeah, absolutely.
Good.
Yeah,
Any
I'm
other
just
questions?
quickly looking over all these comments, beautiful comments. Yeah, so I think
Gali, do you
one
want
of-
to read the comments?
Mm.
Sorry.
No, go ahead.
I can read some of them. Yeah,
Mm-hmm.
absolutely. So I'll just handpick a few. So at the beginning, we got a bunch of hellos and hello from Cape
Yeah, I
Town
can
as
see
well.
some. Yeah.
A few people said love it. And Eva was saying, wow, a new viewpoint about keeping and creating, which is very cool. And Anita said, so true. Open tabs to go back to, LOL, when we were talking about the open
Yes,
tab.
yes.
Yeah. And a woman here, Mindy, said, it's be like Hernan Cortez, burn all the ships and then move forward. There is no way back.
Yeah.
Which is cool.
Yeah,
and then
makes
Anita said, yeah, and Anita said your classes are so good to get those root lies, which is
amazing.
so yeah,
Yeah.
those are the few that I
Yes.
read over here.
Great.
Okay, good.
Yeah. Well, I think the last question that comes to mind is it goes without saying, there's a lot of uncertainty happening around us in the world at the moment. And this comes up pretty much every time with my clients currently, is how to navigate all of that uncertainty. And it's quite a broad spectrum question, because it can relate to job security, finances, career, health, relationships. What advice would you give our viewers in terms of how to navigate this uncertainty at the moment?
Okay. So any person that feel uncertainty, worry, any kind of feeling like that, what I will suggest the person to do is I will tell him to define what he's worried about. So let's say he's worried about not having money for his family, or not having a job, or losing his job, or getting married, this kind of thing. So,
Common worries.
Okay. Yeah.
So he's worried about something, yes? So what you need to do is, first of all, define what is this thing that you're worried about, and then make a list of what could be worse than that thing. What could be worse than losing your job? And you ask yourself many times, what could be worse? And you write it down, and you write it down, and you write it down. And at one point, you will have a realization, and that realization, basically what it says, before that, losing the job was all the way down, and so it has no value. It's totally bad, but totally bad or totally good has no value. Once you put something that's worse than that, you're actually giving it value, and value is always the distance between two things. 7 alone is not a value. 7 in relationship to 3 has a value. 7 in relationship to 10 has a value. And the moment that there is a value, what happened is that you now handle something that is tangible, is physical. Before that, 7 alone is not physical. It's an idea. Now it's physical. The moment that it's physical, you can do something about it, because you realize that the situation is never as bad as you make it to be. And the moment that you realize that the situation is never as bad as you make it to be, automatically you become cause over the situation. It's very similar to, I had a person that told me, look, I cannot sleep. And I told him, okay, what are you doing? And he says, well, I'm trying to sleep and I cannot sleep. And I said, you know what you're going to do now? I want you to go to bed and force yourself not to sleep. Like, you cannot close your eyes. Force yourself not to sleep. And it took 5-10 minutes and he fell asleep. Why? Because he became cause over it. So the same principle we started with, when your life goes in the wrong way, it is only because you did not decide that you are cause over the situation. Anything that you have a twitch in your eye and you want to stop it, make it happen. Don't try to stop it. It's exactly the opposite. Make it happen, become cause over it, and it will stop. You worry, make yourself worry. What else can I worry about? Just find more things to worry about. Let's say you worry about you're going to get fired. What else can I worry about? Well, this thing can happen. Good. What else can I worry about? Just by the fact that you put it there, you become cause. Even if you put something better, it's not important. You become cause. Once you are cause, you can do something about it. The only time when you cannot do something about it, when you assign causation to someone else. What does it mean? I'm an effect. It happened to me. When someone do that, he says, God will help me to explain how you are to blame at what I've done. 3 fingers towards me. God will help me to explain how you are to blame at what I have done. And the moment that you realize that it's you and you don't need to blame someone else for your causation, and everything is your causation because you put yourself there, minimum. Or you decide to experience it in one way or another. The moment that you realize that you are cause, you cannot not control the situation. You can be in jail. Someone can throw you in jail and you can say, well, I'm total effect. Not really. Someone can throw you in jail and you can say, wow, that's the best thing that happened to me. I have time to read some books I wanted to read for years. Thank you. And by the way, I don't need to pay for food and I don't need to worry about work and like, whoa, wonderful. Holiday. Yeah. How long? 1 month. Only 1 month, please. I want to. It's just the viewpoint. Is it a problem or not?
Okay. Yeah.
It sounds weird, but it's only the viewpoint. Can you actually make yourself cause over the situation? Can you create it?
Yeah.
If you can create it, it cannot hurt you.
So it almost sounds like what you're saying is whatever the issue is, you basically dial it up, because once you realize that you are actually controlling that, you can then decide to dial it down.
Exactly.
And create the opposite. Yeah.
You can once you know that you're causing it, once you know that you did it, you really can decide to continue or not. If I know that I'm controlling the vehicle, I decide to go left, right. But if I'm saying, no, it's the engine, it's not me. It's my education. It's my mother. It's my upbringing that define where the car will go. I'm going, thank you very much. The car will go to wherever. You look at your upbringing and you're 50 years old and you drive and you think that what caused you. Come on, at least at the age of 12, you should have been over that. How long you should be stuck on your upbringing?
Yeah, absolutely.
It's enough. Like, come on, move.
Yeah. No, true.
Yeah.
And it's interesting because so many people get stuck in that mentality. And
my mother did that when I was 13 years old. Good. Where is she? She's dead about 20 years. And you're still upset with her?
Yeah.
I mean, come on. Like, nonsense.
Yeah.
Okay, she did it. Yeah, but minutes. If you are really very religious, like you go about it very religiously, you can breathe for 1 hour. But more or less 2 hours after that, it's about time to continue.
Absolutely. No, I completely agree with you on that. Yeah. Yeah.
And somebody asked here, can I handle my procrastination using this method?
Yes. All you have to do is procrastination. The first step in procrastination is make a list of all the open cycles. All the open cycles. Everything you have. Pick up the first item, do it. Never mind what is the first item. Then take the second item, don't do it. Decide I'm not going to do it. It is the worst thing in the universe that it's not happening. You decide you're not going to do it because being cause over it is more important than it being done. You take the next cycle, you do it. And randomly you get to do, don't do, don't do, randomly, but you decide and you do or you don't do. You decide and you do or don't do. And what happened? You recover the power of decision. And the moment that you recover the power of decision, you are cause. And at that moment, nothing can strike you down because you become you and not some kind of a stimulus response body that eats, sleep, and hope that nothing will happen to it.
Yeah. Do you know, it actually ties in beautifully with that first question that I was asking where I said, how do you cope with basically not feeling disappointed when you don't reach your goals? So what I'm hearing now is basically if you have this to-do list that is so daunting that actually is creating procrastination for you, instead of not doing it, just do one thing, but you decide what it is that you do and you stick to it. Yeah.
And then decide not to do. Because
not to do.
control, you need to decide what you control. So people hear about control and they want to control everything. Control everything means for every plus there is minus. So you need to decide what you control, and you need to decide what you're not controlling. Because if you cannot decide that you're not controlling something and you have to control everything, you are not controlling. You have to.
Yeah.
You're in effect again. So you have to decide, this is what I'm controlling. I'm going to control these emails, and those emails, no, not going to touch them. But I want to see the firework. It's going to be nice.
Amazing.
Yeah, and it's always interesting that process of not doing is always like it. Oh, you've been procrastinating for so long. All of a sudden, now you decide I'm not doing it, but it's like now you want to do it. It flares up the other side, but then you become cause. It's so interesting how it really flares things up all of a sudden. But it's amazing how it works.
Yeah.
Very, very interesting. And then I wanted to add here. So, and by the way, we've got a lot of people saying great questions, Carina. A lot of people are loving
awesome.
your questions.
I'm glad this is a good learning experience for everyone. So yeah, thank you, Meir and Gal.
Welcome. Thank you.
Absolutely. So somebody just asked here, from the perspective of cause effect, I can see that people who apologize to us are actually insulting us.
That's correct.
What is your thought there?
So when someone says I'm sorry, is lying, because you're never sorry. I want to ask you, when you did something, you did it because you wanted. You didn't do because someone took your hand and I get you to do something. You wanted to do that. Now, in a new unit of time, you say, whoa, that's not exactly what I wanted. So I'm not sorry. I was exactly intending to punch you. But now when I see that you're Jew and you have a lot of money, maybe I can get money from you. So you know what? Let's rebuild the relationship with you. But I'm not sorry. I'm actually not sorry. There's not one person ever that was truly sorry, because at any given moment, you do what you thought you're doing. And if you said that you're sorry, you are lying. You can say that I've done it. I really intended to hurt you because I didn't know that you're Jew and you have money and I can just get some money from you and that you're offering money. If I only realized that, I can say I was stupid. I'm sorry. So basically, I'm still cause. I was doing it. I was sure that is the right time, the right thing to do at any given moment. There is no one in history that did anything wrong, because at the moment that you do something, it is the thing you want to do. A second later, some other data come and you say, oh, with that new data, I want to do that. So the problem is not being sorry. The problem is being stuck on one viewpoint. This is the insistence of being right instead of doing the right thing. So because a person wants to really be right, like people consider that they prefer to die and not being right. How do I know? Because you never say that you are wrong. You say I'm wrong because, or I'm wrong but.
To die and not be wrong, you mean? Yes, they prefer
not
to
be wrong.
die
Yes,
than to be wrong.
Yeah, because when you say I'm wrong but, the word but mean everything I said before is not true. If I say I love you but, it means I don't love you. If I say I will do it but, it means I'm not going to do it. Yes? So the word but mean everything before is a lie. Now let's get to the real thing. So no one say I was wrong. No but. Because even if they don't say but, inside they have all of this because of that and that and and if they said no, sometimes people telling me no, I can say I was wrong. I said, good, give me an example. And they give me the example and I say, why did you do it? And they say, well, of course, because I'm married. And there's a but. There's because. It's not me, it's my wife.
Okay. Yeah, it's almost like what it sounds like to me is when people say that they're sorry, it's more coming from a place of having regret, because now they have to deal with the circumstances.
Yeah,
the
it's
repercussion.
being in fact, instead of saying I did it and I'm going to take responsibility for it. Now, I broke your arm, and I'm going to give you $1 billion. Is that good enough? Did I make up the damage? Good. Let's continue. End of cycle. Sorry, I'm keeping the thing going. So what if you're sorry? It's a lie. I did something, I take responsibility for it. If I need to, I make up the damage. If I need to, I make more damage, whatever, but I'm definitely not sorry because it's a lie. At any given moment, what I do is exactly what I thought is the most pro-survival thing to do with the data I have. A second later, I may have new data and I would change my opinion, I would change my consideration. But if I'm taking responsibility, I will be able to create and create and create and never become an effect. If I'm sorry, I would say, well, I'm actually a bad person and I'm sorry that I'm so bad. So I would need to cut my power because I'm so bad. The truth is that you are perfect. Anything that is not perfect is not you, but only as long as you're willing for everyone else to be at least as perfect as you. Sorry has nothing to do with that. While you fix machines by finding what's wrong with them, you fix people by finding what's right with them. And if I make you say you are sorry, I'm finding what's wrong with you, I turn you into a machine, a piece of energy, a piece of body. Nonsense. You are not a piece of energy. You are not energy. You have energy, which is the body. You create the energy. You are not an energy. Because you don't have beginning, middle, and an end. You're a spirit. You are. You're not continuing over time. You create time. Totally different.
I like that. I like that. Do we have time for one more question?
Of course.
Absolutely.
Amazing.
Absolutely.
So I think the last question that I wanted to ask is, how can you advise people to get over that fear of quitting? And when I say quit, is they've been trying to do something for a long time. They're doing everything perfectly. They're following the system, the guidelines, whatever it is they're doing. They're supposedly doing it according to the right procedures. But at what time is it time to quit or time to change?
Okay. So, first of all, I will never recommend anyone to follow a system, because the Nazis followed the system. Everything they've done was legal. They just followed the system. So never follow the system. Never. What you need to do at any given moment in time is to check what is the greatest survival to the greatest being, people, and things, and that's what you do, regardless of what the system say. If the system say, well, you need to put on a mask, and so other people will not get infected, or that you will not get infected, and you look and you say, but this is really stupid. And I'm not getting into the argument if it's stupid or not. Some people think it is, some people not. But you think that it is stupid, don't do it. Within the law, never violate the law, don't do it. And if the law is not the system, if the law tell you to do it, resist it peacefully. How do you resist it peacefully? By not giving it your support. And in a normal system, in a company or something like that, you don't quit. You bring the area you are into an unbelievable condition, you give it to someone else, and you live with everyone bowing. You don't just quit. Because betrayal, most of the people think about the betrayal is if I do something against you, like I gave you my word and I did the opposite. I don't think that this is betrayal. I think this is the manifestation of betrayal. Betrayal is actually entertaining the idea that I can do something else other than what I'm doing right now. So if I entertain the idea of changing a job, if I'm listening to someone that offering me a better job, I'm already betraying. If I'm listening, if a woman come to me and say, well, you know, you look good, and she start to flirt with me, and I entertain the idea of maybe, I already betray. I don't need to do to betray. Betrayal happen at the moment that you entertain the idea that you do something against what you promised. You don't actually need to go and do the action. So first of all, for a person that think about it, he needs to get his ethics in and stop entertaining the idea. Get your job to a powerful position. Find yourself a replacement. And when you can live without any damage, either live or progress up. But never live any kind of a game that you want to play in the middle. If you don't want to play the game, leave the game only after you either close that game totally, you made sure that the game is not good because it's not pro survival, so you kill that game. So let's say I'm a Nazi, and I make sure that the Nazi will fall. That's how I leave that group. Or if I think that they're okay and just it's not good for me, I bring my position to power. I find someone that can kill enough Jews at least as good as me, and then I will leave. Yes. Like I'm giving this an extreme example. Of course, it's nonsense, yes. But even there, that's will be the only ethical thing to do. Either kill the group if the group is destructive, in your view. So it's an enemy, you're killing that group. Or if you live in a position of power.
I got you.
Live halfway. And you don't start to entertain all kind of, maybe I can find a better place, better salary, better this, better that. Just the entertainment of the idea is already, you're not part of this group.
Yeah. And then
You're
how
already a traitor.
I completely hear what you're saying. Yeah, it makes perfect sense. Now, how would you interpret that when you're a solopreneur, solo entrepreneur, when it's just
Entertain
you?
the idea that maybe I will close. Maybe I've done a mistake. I should have got salary. It's so much easier. I get less money maybe, but I finish at 5. And Netflix, don't cry that I don't use it too much. You know.
Okay, so it's almost like you're wishing for how things used to be if you used to work for somebody. Okay.
Exactly. So you entertain, or maybe I will not do the work that I promised to do, and I'll give some kind of a story. Well, I fell asleep, or I had too much to do, or my child got sick, so I couldn't do that. You entertain, before you do it, you entertain some kind of something, then you do the betrayal, then the treason happen. With the entertainment of the idea that treason happened. When you actually did it, it's already, you're in confusion. The situation is really bad. There's no solution at that moment.
Yeah.
Don't entertain the idea. Don't wait even for the point of you did the bad thing. You did the bad thing, the condition is worse. You're not, if you cheated your wife already, you didn't, it's not a treason, it's worse. It's a confusion because now there's no solution.
Yeah, I got you.
Yes.
Yeah, and I also want to add that, a lot of what we speak about with Guaranteed Prosperity is for somebody who is in that confusion. Yes, there are immense pressures that this crazy universe gives you. And that's why it's so important to, what we spoke about earlier, remove the fake realities. Constantly find a source of information that can assist you to remove fake reality, so you become the source and you can then create but that's how you handle it, is continuously getting the fake realities removed from, it could be from what we do or from others.
Yeah, and the fake reality, just so everyone have the definition, fake reality is a piece of information that you are 100% sure is true, but when you use it, it doesn't bring the expected result. So that's fake reality. So you really need to find someone that will teach you, not by giving you more data, but by deleting fake realities. Most teachers want to give you data. You don't need more data. The mind is full with data. You don't need more data. You need to remove the lies. By removing the lies, you will discover that you, the spirit, is this thing that knows. You already know. The question is, what's hiding that ability to know? That's the trick.
Yeah.
That's the genius. The genius is to get you to delete, not to add. And you'll see that the moment that the person start to realize or start to spot truth and not relying on lies, he become clever, because the word clever mean, the definition of the word clever is the ability to recognize truth. Most people don't recognize truth. They are like moths to a flame. They go after fake reality. That's like, give them fake reality. Let's go to war. Yes. Let's kill black people. Yes. Let's kill Jews. Not so good. It's like all the money. You kill the money. So that's a good idea. You want money, don't kill the Jews.
Amazing. Oh, thank you so much to both of you. I really appreciate this conversation. Yeah.
Thank you very much.
It was great.
Excellent questions. And
yeah,
amazing
great
person
questions.
you are. Very smart and beautiful.
Thank you.
So everything, the whole package. Yes.
Yes. Absolutely. And I think everybody loved it. There was a lot of amazing, wow, so interesting, another great solution. I can really use this, decide what I should control. My husband tells me that all the time, and I always had a hard time understanding. It makes sense. So you're welcome on behalf of your husband. And yeah, as someone said here, nice. Gareth said, nice. While you fix machines by finding what's wrong with them, you fix people by finding what's right with them. An amazing message. So this was great. Carina, how do people find out more about you?
So the easiest way is just to find me on Facebook. I'm the most active on Facebook. You can just search my name, Carina De Vries. Or you can find me on my business page at Therapy with Carina. And from there, just easy to send me DMs through Facebook. Yeah.
Also on Instagram, yes? I think you're also on Instagram, right?
I'm on Instagram as well, Carina.devries. Yeah.
Okay. So perfect.
And then from any viewers from Carina's side, if you want to find out about us, you can go to gprosperity.com. And you can also search us by our name on Instagram or other social media, or Guaranteed Prosperity.
Yeah, and if you're looking for Carina and you didn't find her or something, but you know us, you can always write to me or to Gal, and
we'll connect you.
Give you the contact details, and we have her contact details. We are special.
Very, very lucky. Yes.
Okay.
This was great.
Yes,
thank you very, very much, Carina, for your time. And Abba, thank you so much.
And I love you, Gali. Mwah.
Mwah. Thank you.
Mwah. Miss you, Gali.
Mwah. I miss you too.
Okay.
Mwah. Bye-bye, Carina.
Bye-bye. Thank you so much. Bye.